Yet another way to sound like a professional is through the use of articulation. There are several types of articulation I will talk to you about today. The first is staccato. Staccato means short and separated and is notated in music by a small dot over the note. I will play a scale for you that is in staccato form. Notice that regardless of whether I was playing quarter notes or eighth notes, the notes were short and separated. The next articulation we'll learn about is legato. It means the opposite. It means very, very smooth and connected. And while there is still a tongue used to start each individual note, it's really mellow and smooth. A lot of times, flute players like to use the syllable da instead of ta, which sounds a bit more harsh and exaggerated. Da is a little bit more smooth. Da, 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 da. I'll play 4 notes using a ta syllable, followed by 4 notes using a da, and see if you can hear the difference. Not only were the first 4 a little bit shorter, because the ta lends itself well to staccato, but the da helps to give a more smooth, rounded start to the note. Here is the same C major scale, but played very legato, or long, lengthened. Same scale, completely different approach. And notice, regardless of whether I was playing quarter notes or eighth notes, they were very long, smooth, and connected. The next articulation we'll be discussing are accents. Accents are marked like this. They're small little V's, sideways V's, on top of the note. They mean punctuated, really stuck out. They're different from staccato because they can be slightly longer, although they can also be short, but they're very, very accented, emphasized. Each note had a really distinct start that was very much accented. The last articulation that we will discuss is slurs. Slur would be practically the complete opposite of staccato. Slur is marked with a big line covering the entire length of the phrase that we want to connect. It is very connected. It's even more connected than legato because there is no tongue whatsoever. It's just fingers and air. The same C major scale played with a slur. We also use slurs very often in music. Actually, we use all 4, and they happen right next to each other. There could be a staccato followed by a legato, the long line over the note, next to a big slur, next to an accent. You have to be ready to expect anything. And just like dynamics, articulation is very, very, very important in any piece of music that we are learning and adds a bunch of character. Now that we've gone over the difference between staccato, legato, accent, and slur, I'll give you a few exercises so that you can work on them alongside me. The first, we'll practice staccato. Let's go back to the first 5 notes of the B-flat major scale again. B-flat, C, D, E, F, and back down. At first, we will do 4 quarter notes per note, followed by 8 eighth notes in the same note. Let's do rests in the middle, I'll count off 4 beats for nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Now let's do the same thing, but increase the note speed. So we will do eighth notes instead of quarter notes. We'll do 8 eighth notes per note with 4 quarter rests in between each note. Now, instead of me counting out 1, 2, 3, 4 in between for each of these, let's very carefully and quietly tap the value of each quarter note with our feet. Starting with me, I'll give you 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat these exercises as many times as you need to feel comfortable with staccato, or just come back to it any time that you're practicing a piece of music and need a little bit of extra practice on the staccato. Next, we'll cover legato. Same exact idea, but with legato instead of staccato. Let's do quarter notes first, 4 quarter notes on each note, with 4 beats rest in the middle. Don't forget to use your duh tongue instead of ta for a more clean start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in eighth notes. 8 eighth notes per note with 4 rests in the middle, quarter rests. Again with me, 1, 2, 3, 4. On to accents. This time we'll do half note to each note with a half note rest. So 2 beats playing with an accent and 2 beats off. 1 time per note. 5 notes of the B flat major scale. I'll count off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, this exercise can be repeated as many times as you want. You could even make your own version and add whatever notes you want to play, maybe the notes in a piece of music you're learning. It doesn't have to be that one scale. Let's try something slurred. Do the same 5 notes, but we're going to do really slow quarter notes up and down 3 times. And we'll take 4 beats rest at the bottom of the scale. So the whole scale with no rest, each note a quarter note, resting at the bottom before the next time. We'll do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you have 4 different separate exercises for articulation. I hope it helps.